Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. This is yet another video of me having some booze. Work, work, work. Now what this is the result of something I heard on our trip to the UK. When we were there visiting with my relatives in Northern Ireland, a story came up of how one of my cousins was challenged by somebody to having a drinking contest, and you never ever challenge an Irishman to a drinking contest because you will lose. That's what ended up happening, but it got us chatting about sort of the nations of the world that are maybe well known for their ability to stomach hard liquor. And I had mentioned I'd like to throw Canada's hat into the ring, but I think probably Russia is maybe a stronger contender to go toe-to-toe with the Irish, maybe. And ironically, that actually my cousin mentioned that he talks to and deals with a lot of Russian fellas in his business, and he heard something that I'm going to try right now. Apparently, there's a way to drink vodka in Russia that I don't know if it's like this is a preferred method to drink it, or it might actually have been, my cousin was saying, if they're going to be getting a lot of vodka down them, this is a way to kind of allow them to drink a lot of it without getting too drunk on the stuff too quickly, I guess. I don't know. It just seemed like a really weird combination, and so I just thought, you know what? I want to try this out. So let me just go get the ingredients here. So clearly the first thing you're going to need is some vodka. This is Russian Standard. I have no idea what that says. Maybe it says Russian Standard. Who knows? In addition to the vodka, though, he said that his friend also has pickled herring and horseradish. And I just thought, okay, that just sounds really, really strange. And I don't know how this is going to be, but let's give this a whirl. Now, before we try this crazy experiment, let me just try the vodka on its own, just to see what it's like. I quite like vodka. This is going to sound odd, but I've actually had some people comment on my Deckard's Not a Replicant video, the one about Blade Runner. I've had a few people say, you know, you look a lot like Vladimir Putin. And I don't know if that's a compliment per se, but sure, for the sake of this video, I will say that makes me able to speak on behalf of the Russian people. So, and to paraphrase an old stereotype joke, in Russia, the vodka enjoys you. So, let's give this a try here. Let's pour it out. My cousin said it does have to be ice cold, so I've been freezing this for like a week. You can see there's actually frost starting to form on it here. So let's just give this a little shot just to see how good a quality this standard Russian vodka is, and then we'll try the experiment. Okay, that's very nice. That goes down nice and smooth. Yeah, pretty good stuff, actually. Okay, so yes, standard Russian vodka tastes quite nice. Now I'm just going to put this into the freezer while I prepare the horseradish and the pickled herrings. Okay, now this is the part of the experiment I don't really know. He didn't really give me any quantities or how to do this, so I think what I'm going to do is just open up some herring, put it on, I guess, a spoon or a fork or something, and then just put some horseradish on it. I don't know. Let's try this out. Well, that's a big piece of pickled herring. It's going to be a really big piece. Let me separate a little chunk of this that I can at least get down my throat quickly here. And now the horseradish. Let's take a big scoop of that. Again, I have no idea what quantities to use, so I'm just doing maybe a very liberal half a teaspoon. A nice big serving of our very tasty vodka. Frosty. All right, we got our pickled herring, our horseradish in ample supply here, and a nice big dollop of vodka. Now, my cousin said the trick is don't breathe in. So I guess just get this down my throat and then follow it up with a big swig of vodka. So, as the Russians would say, "Проехали." So what do I think of that? That's a weird combination of flavors, but it's not bad. It's got it's kind of hitting me with a old World War II Russian submarine kind of vibe. I don't know why. Yeah, it's not a bad flavor combination. It seems bizarre, and when my cousin told me it, I was like, no, that's going to be gross. But you know what? It's not bad. Let's try another one. Maybe a little bit more horseradish on this one than on the previous one. Maybe that's a good thing. Let's give it another try. Yeah, it's an interesting kind of a flavor. I don't know that breathing or not breathing really makes a difference. It's tasty enough. Maybe there's something in the quantities or something in the properties of the fish that it absorbs some of the alcoholic content of the vodka. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what's the logic the Russians are working on here. Herring, horseradish, what is that going to do that's going to stop vodka from making you drunk? Or is it just a nice kind of a chaser? Is this the Russian equivalent of the tequila with the lime and the salt? It has that kind of a vibe to it. It feels like I'm having something old world that, generals would pass down to their lieutenants in the, I don't know, on the Western Front. I don't know. Gonna have to get some more vodka. Work. All right, this time let's go for a big, healthy swig of this stuff. Take no prisoners. Ooh, yeah, that is cold, and it's actually coming out a little bit more viscousy than I'm expecting. I'm struggling with what the logic is here. Why are the Russians coming up with this recipe? Is this as I say, the tequila and lime thing, or is this a little bit like when I did my cubes of steel in the whiskey glass? And I had quite a few people give me feedback that if you don't want to make your whiskey cold, just put as much water in there as a way to reduce that kind of almost burning sensation of the drink going down your throat. This vodka doesn't burn like the whiskey does. It's quite pleasant. So I'm thinking, if this is a way of keeping from getting drunk, I mean, I'd have to have a lot more of it to make that determination, but I think it's just a nice little addition to go with your drink. So this time, a lot more herring and a lot less horseradish. Let's see if that makes any difference for the flavor. And that was a nice big swig of the vodka. Well, I don't know. It's just very tasty. It's a nice combination. I'm going to side with that being more the tequila thing. This is just a nice way to go, or a nice chaser to go with the drink. Again, maybe if I wanted to polish off that whole bottle of vodka, I don't think that's recommended, but it might be a way of verifying that this does in fact reduce your chances of getting drunk on the stuff. I'm not sure, but anyway, experiment over. I just thought, yeah, after my cousin mentioned that whole herring and horseradish story, I thought, I'm going to give that a try and see if I notice anything about the taste, the combination of flavors, or does it keep me from getting drunk? I haven't really noticed any effect at all. It's just an interesting way to have a combination with your drink. All right, well, another drink experiment under my belt. And until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.